Wanted by the best is the best that was the best ever will be. There'll be none before me, there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one, the only Jake Covey, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown Raw reviews, and then we go into our predictions for Bad Blood. We then have a trick of the week, followed by the Battle Droid of the week. Let's get into the news this week, though, as is a former WWE star signing with AEW. Apparently, it is true, as Shelton Benjamin is expected to sign with AEW. Following his WWE release, there were initial talks, but they since fell through. But now it looks like he is AEW bound since the debut of his old manager, MVP. And WWE has filed a trademark for a famous chant, as the Yes chant is apparently going to be a WWE trademark after Bryan Danielson's application was abandoned. It's a smart move by WWE to try and trademark it, but I still think that Daniel Bryan should have that. Bryan Danielson, whatever he wants to be called, American Dragon, whatever he wants, that should be his for him to use. And finally, WWE is listening to the fans, as they apparently heard the criticism of not pushing black talent onto marquee matches in pay-per-view. Apparently, it has been over 3 months since a black male wrestler has featured in WWE pay-per-views. I completely agree with this statement, and I think that it is something that WWE does need to focus on, is pushing people of color, whether they are black, Asian, Latino, anything, into more predominant roles in the company, not just to attract fans, but because those people grew up loving wrestling too. And I don't care what color you are, you could be black, white, blue with polka dot stripes. I don't give a fuck. If you love wrestling, love wrestling. You should be represented too in this sport. Just my opinion. But that is the news this week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into SmackDown. As SmackDown kicked off with the Viper and the Orton, saying it's hard to see what WWE champion Cody Rhodes agreed. It's hard to see why WWE champion Cody Rhodes agreed with Roman Reigns to team with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood. He wanted to explain that Cody came out and agreed to team with Roman because he looked Roman in the eye and gave Roman his word that he would have his back. Cody is a man of honor, and that is apparently why. You think that Nia Jax getting upset with 50 Stratton about their loss last week and warned Tiffany that if the Bayley versus Naomi match ends badly for her, then things will also end up badly for Stratton. They're kind of teasing a Stratton turn on Nia Jax to cash in the Money in the Bank contract. Bayley then defeated Naomi and will go on to face her at Bad Blood in a nice little #1 contenders match. Shout out to Bayley for pulling off the win. We then got Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade in their ongoing feud. This is a feud that I think should have a pay-per-view blow-off. This is definitely one that could be an all-time classic on pay-per-view. I would say Last Man Standing or Iron Man match. Carmelo Hayes would pick up the win on Andrade. On Andrade. We then get a promo saying AJ Styles will return to WWE TV next week. So, great job by WWE. We then get Meech and Mia Yim versus Piper Niven to build to the dumpster match that will happen on this Friday's SmackDown. Meech and Mia Yim would pick up the win over Piper Niven in an okay match. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill announced that they will host Bad Blood in Atlanta. We then get Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. The Bloodline would pick up the win. And after the match, Kevin Owens got upset with Cody Rhodes for getting involved and basically costing them the match. But Randy Orton tried to calm him down, which Kevin Owens would just leave the ring. It's clear they're they're testing the waters with the Kevin Owens heel turn. I think the fans really don't want to see it. In my opinion, I think they should turn Randy Orton heel. And that should be the match for Survivor Series. Orton versus Rhodes. Dream match. In my opinion. Let's move on to Raw. As Raw kicked off with main event Jey Uso and with his son, I actually wanted to mention, coming down the stairs to his music. Uso would get in the ring, talk about how he respects everybody and how it's awesome to see. Braun Breaker then came out and actually can say he isn't going to spear him. He doesn't have anything bad to say. Uso was the better man. We then get Xavier Woods versus Rey Mysterio. As Xavier Woods, it would be a kind of a quick match. Xavier Woods would pick up the win by unmasking Rey Mysterio and rolling him up. Immediately, I thought of Chris Jericho with this. We then get Zoe Starks and Lyra Valkyria in an okay match. Zoe Starks would pick up the win. I really still don't know how I feel about Pure Fusion Collective. Kofi Kingston would then announce that Xavier Woods will have an IC title match next week on Raw. Adam Pearce then held a face-to-face between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk inside of Hell in a Cell. Go watch their promo. I really don't do promos justice on this podcast because to do a promo justice, you truly need to understand what they're saying, and I cannot convey what they are truly saying. So go watch their promo. We then get the Judgment Day versus the LWO. The Judgment Day would pick up the win. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest would go after the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan would get into a fight, and Liv Morgan would lay out Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest would be laid out by the rest of Judgment Day. Actually, pretty cool to see. It was then announced that next week it will be a Donnybrook match of Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. After this, we got Chad Gable versus Kofi Kingston. Chad Gable picking up the win, kind of making Xavier Woods show off like more of the stronger New Day partner. We then get a brawl between Gunther and Sami Zayn, which left Gunther standing tall and says if Sami wants a title, he can have it. And a world title match will take place next week on Raw. It should have gone to Bad Blood, in my opinion. We then get the Authors of Pain defeating Miz and R-Truth. The Miz and R-Truth would lose this match because the Miz would turn heel and attack R-Truth, then leave the ring. Saw it coming from a mile away. Nothing shocked me in that one. We then get your main event of the evening, last monster standing. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. And this was a hell of a match. They would spew each other through the barricade. They would go through the tables. They would do everything that can be done to one another. It was a hard fought match, and finally ended when they both went through the ring, collapsing the ring. Bronson Reed would look like he's starting to get up, but Seth freaking Rollins, would make his return to the ring and would stomp out Bronson Reed on the steel steps to allow Braun Strowman, his former tag team champion partner, to pick up the win. Thought that was a fun little tidbit that everybody else is forgetting there. It was a very good go home Raw, and it actually really made me excited for Bad Blood because if that's what we can expect from a last man standing match, what the hell can we expect from a Hell in a Cell match booked under Triple H? You know, it makes me excited. Let's look at Bad Blood, ladies and gentlemen. This is my predictions for the show. This will be the first time WWE will ever take place same night as a UFC pay-per-view since they both merged. So Bad Blood will be starting at 6 to avoid counter programming with UFC 307. You have 6 matches announced. This is where I imagine the final card will be. Liv Morgan with Dominic Mysterio defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. Mysterio will be suspended above the ring in the shark cage. Look for Liv Morgan to retain. I don't think they're taking the title off of Liv so soon. I think they'll wait and have Rhea win the Royal Rumble one last time, becoming the first two-time winner, and go on to challenge Liv at WrestleMania. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Look for Finn Balor to pick up the win here. So Damian Priest and Finn could both move on to different things, and Finn could be focused on a tag team championship run. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Hmm. Look for CM Punk to pull off the win and to use that momentum to go on and win the Royal Rumble. Nia Jax versus Bayley. Nia Jax going to retain here, and maybe a crown jewel, or at Survivor Series we will get a Tiffany Stratton cash in. And finally, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Look for the Bloodline to pick up the win, because if they are still doing The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, I think it will set up a Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. If they don't do it and they have Cody Rhodes versus someone else at WrestleMania, this is where the heel turn will come, and it will lead to that WrestleMania match. Maybe Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? That'd be a fun one. And would be a great one to send Randy Orton out on. But those are my predictions for WWE Bad Blood. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win? Who are you betting on? What match do you think will steal the show? And what match do you think will main event? I've heard a lot of different things of who I think of who's going to main event. I truly think it's probably going to be the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns match, even though I truly believe it should be a Hell in a Cell feud. That should main event this show. I could use a drink. Hell, I could use a shot. How about a bloody brain shooter? This is a very fun drink. It's kind of like a brain hemorrhage, alien brain hemorrhage. Those are always fun drinks. If you're looking for a fun drink, here it is. It's 1 ounce peach schnapps, quarter of an ounce of Irish cream, and a splash of grenadine. You add your peach schnapps to a shot glass, slowly drip the Irish cream on top, and the Irish cream will kind of curdle and represent a brain. You add the splash of grenadine to make it a bloody brain shooter. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you're under 21 in the United States, and do not overconsume on alcohol. A little short podcast this week, but it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. Battle Droid this week is The Miz. The Miz made a very predictable move, turning heel. It was clear that this Karrion Kross gimmick that they're giving him, it kind of reminds me, I believe it was Shane Thorne who had the gimmick of the Devil's Advocate, where he would tell people to indulge in sins, cheat on their partners, commit crimes, be the bad people of the world. I kind of think that that's where they're going with this Karrion Kross character. By the way, I know I didn't mention in my Raw review, but they have that really cool, like, be prepared kind of promo going, or this video package. People are saying it's for Alexa Bliss. People are saying it's for the Wyatt family. No, I truly believe it is for the Viking Raiders. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy Bad Blood this week. I'll be back next week with my review of the show as we get ready for Crown Jewel. Thank you very much for listening. I've been the Big Guy, Jake Coley. Have a great week in wrestling.